Hey, this is Kyle Crawford from Strong Dads. Strong Dads podcast would love to thank the Crimers Beer House for coming alongside of us. The Crimers Beer House was started in 1982 by the Crimer family, and since that time, they have definitely become a Cincinnati favorite. So if you're looking for an incredible meal in an incredible setting, definitely go down to Route 128 and check out the Crimers Beer House. Hey guys, what's going on? Well, that was loud.
Wow.
I'm excited to be
Just
here.
woke me up. Way to end the year.
How you doing today, Merle?
Oh, I'm doing good. Yeah, doing good. Can't wait
Awesome.
to drop the bomb on 2021.
That's right. That's right. So as we are
Happy New Year.
I know. As we are recording the show, and it will be put out the day before New Year's Eve, or I guess it is New Year's Eve.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
hello.
Yeah, I know. So I hope you guys are excited for 2021. Out the window, we're going.
Was it as bad as 2020? Remember how everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, 2020." Yeah. Was it as bad? You think?
It's whatever. It's
I remember 2020. I mean, I remember thinking like, life just doesn't feel like normal. There's just. And 2021 started to show some normalcy. Like kids kind of went back to school and everything. But I'm not liking the way 2022 is shaping up. As we're doing a lot of Corona talk these days.
We are. Have you seen the ornaments of the dog taking a crap, and then on the crap it says like 2020 or 2021?
You're gross. No, I have not.
What
kind of stuff do you look at anyway? You're messed up.
Well, a couple of shows ago we talked about what is on my Amazon account, and it's all like these goofy coffee mugs. Well, the ornaments pop up too now. You look at one of them and they all just pop up.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have any stuff like that on mine.
Anyways, so I hope you guys had a good Christmas. I hope you're excited for the new year coming up. It's always an exciting time. You always feel like you get a fresh start, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think that's what we're going to talk about some challenges we can have for ourselves coming up here in the year 2022. So I think it'll be a good show.
I think it's a good show. I used to be a big naysayer about New Year's resolutions, and that was just because I was pathetic. And and again, it's not really so much about like whether you're going to follow through. Yes, that's a bonus when you do. But it's the idea that you have hope, right?
Yeah.
The idea
Making
that
effort.
That things can be better. They can get better. Because if I don't have the idea that things can get better, that does become kind of hopeless. And I think that's what happened back in 2020. Like people thought, will this ever end? So, I love to have the reboot, the opportunity to hit a fresh start.
I like it. So with that in mind, question for you, Merle.
Oh, Lordy.
Being that 2022 is coming up, what is something in 2022 that you want to achieve, you want to conquer, you want to make happen? What is something in 2022 you're looking most forward to?
Just one thing?
Sure. We can keep it going.
Oh, man. So there are a couple of things, actually. So on the business front, Linda and I are launching a completely new program and system of coaching for mostly marriage and family stuff. It's called Rock Solid Marriages, and we are going to be launching that. We believe right now it's going to be in February. This is going to be a game changer for how we are able to help people. Basically, we put together an entire curriculum and going to have the capability now to serve people across the country and beyond that, if that's the case, but yet still do an individual component to that. Okay. So it's really going to be pretty cool. We're starting to unveil some of that. I don't want to get out in front of myself on it yet, but that's going to be cool. We're really excited about seeing what we can do with that and how God uses it and just allows us to do our thing. So that's one area. I always, we've talked before about just the fitness thing. And you've also heard me complain about my knees. I stopped doing leg stuff back in about mid-October. I just got off my bike, stopped, because my knees have been just a wrecking ball, achy, stiff, and I'm getting some special treatment for those with some PRP type stuff and on a really
PRP?
plasma-rich whatever that other P is, I forget now, it slips me, but basically getting injections of plasma enrichment in the legs, in the knees specifically. And like I have 7 shots in one leg, 6 in the other. They weren't fun at all. Like they're kind of painful. Yeah. But that I did that first one back in November. And, we were talking before, like I'm actually able to squat back down again. So this is not a commercial at all for that. It's just like, but I have, in just aging, my body's not recouping and regenerating like it used to. But my brain still wants to do the workouts that it used to do.
Sure.
And I think I just got way out in front of myself. So I'm hoping that in 2022, I continue on this regimen. I'm starting to bring some leg stuff back in.
Okay.
And so one of my deals is to be able to be stronger and less pain in 2022. I went for a hike back in, mid-October with the family.
Okay.
And I was pathetic. I literally, I was limping so bad that I couldn't really finish it. I said, I'm done. I can't walk anymore. And,
wow.
I'm way too young for that stuff. Yeah. So anyway, enough about me. What are you going to do in 2022?
2022. You
going to start being nicer? You are such a charmer.
I'm a very nice person.
I talk to Jenny more than you realize. No.
2022, I am on the professional side. I'm going to be attempting to study for promotion again at work.
Right.
So the first go around did not go so well. So
what's involved? I don't understand it a little bit. What do you have to is it a testing process or an interview?
So at where I work at the city of Dayton as a fireman, the way in which you get promoted to lieutenant would be my next line of promotion. It is a test. It is 6 actual written books by actual legit authors, and then there are we probably have about 10 actual manuals. We call them our manuals. So general orders, our tactics, our union contract. They're saying so. It's a lot of studying. The 6 books we got to read are pretty intense. I mean, I think the longest one is 400 or 500 pages, something like that. So, and then basically you get to the test that's usually in late October, November timeframe. And you basically have to regurgitate whatever you remembered on this 150 question test. So they're basically taking these 6 books and they're drawing 20 questions from each of them. So there's not a lot coming from each of these books, but
you got to know which ones they're going after.
Exactly. So it's just trying to remember and almost memorize what goes in these books. So that's going to be something that I'm going to try and dive into. I'm trying to figure out a studying schedule to try and actually commit to it. That was my problem in 2020. Was when I took that test is. I'll blame it on COVID, like everyone else does. Everyone blames stuff on COVID.
Wait, that's not what we're allowed to do as Strong Dads. You can't blame it. You got to own it.
It was on me.
How about in 2022 you start owning it?
I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna try and commit and really get promoted. It's on my list of things I want to achieve in my career is getting promoted. So, and then on the woodworking side, I'm gonna try and really expand my skills and abilities, and I really want to kind of make that more successful and kind of keep that going. So one thing I'm really excited about on the family side is my oldest daughter Ava she's really into the golfing thing.
Oh yeah.
So that just makes me really happy. So I talked to her and she wants to keep playing golf next year. So I'm really excited to try and help her and try and get her, make her better, get her, have her find some success in that. So I'm really excited about some of those different things that are going on. So we'll see how that all plays out. Maybe this time next year we'll do a show on how we failed in 2022.
Come on. No. Like how we succeeded. See, I got to keep driving this guy. I got to keep picking him up.
Positivity. Maybe I need to be more positive.
We are gonna slay the dragon this year. All right. We better thank a few sponsors first, and then let's get into actually what the challenges are going to be.
Yep.
How we can help you guys as Strong Dads to kind of get a fresh sight for the 2022 year. So we want to thank the Kramer's Beer House for coming alongside Strong Dads and the work that we do here here. We just thank Mark so much for being a dedicated part of believing in our message. So for any of your fine dining or just casual dining, and Mark can cover it. He's got all kinds of different ways to help meet those needs. So go down on Route 128 outside of Cleves, Ohio, to the Crimer's Beer House and check out what Mark Crimer is doing down there.
I like it. Strong Dads, we'd also like to thank Casey Outdoor Solutions for coming alongside of us, located in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Check them out for home decor, landscaping needs. They got a really cool shop there. Check them out. Let them know we sent you up there, and really do appreciate Casey Outdoor Solutions for coming alongside of us.
Get us rolling.
All right.
Give me some challenges.
All right. So as we dive into 2022, the hope for this show is let's go through some different challenges, some different things that we can actually, it's one thing to have these New Year's resolutions and actually put, have goals for the new year, but it's another thing to actually put that into practice. And so the hope is for this show to dive into different challenges that we can kind of take ourselves into a spiritual challenge, a physical challenge, which I'll let you talk about, the mental aspect of what we kind of improving our mental stability for 2022. I'd love to do a little challenge for being a dad and being a husband. I think are good places to start. So that's hopefully what the show's gonna to dive into, because when we talk about the new year, I think you had briefly touched on the beginning of the show, this idea that we get into these new years and it's a new start, and that's all well and good. But again, it's another thing to make a New Year's resolution, to make changes in your life, and it's another thing to actually make it last. There's a lot of people who are doing New Year's resolutions. I want to diet. I want to get in better shape, and it lasts like all of a week. I'm sure you probably see this in the workout world.
Seldom does it make it to February. Seldom do we see that.
But yeah, so the hope is we can begin to develop some new habits, some new practices that we can incorporate in our day-to-day life that really can improve us as strong dads. I mean, that's the whole reason why we started this idea of strong dads was seeing too many times guys fall into bad habits, and they fall into this idea of not doing daily check-ins, not doing these monthly check-ins. And then the months turn into years, and then the years turn into multiple failures and divorces and not seeing your kids. So I think there's definitely a time and a place to kind of hit the reset button a little bit and get back to the basics and doing things that actually improve ourselves. Because if we can improve ourselves and who we are, I think it trickles into improving our family.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. So let's maybe first dig into the spiritual challenge.
Right.
Okay. Maybe some ideas. And I think if I could at least start some of this, I don't know if you guys, if you didn't get a chance to listen to our last show when we talked about attributes of a man, okay, of how do we really define a real man? We talked in that one place about confidence. We used the word confidence, if you remember, and I intentionally kind of broke down that word or put the brakes on that word because when we don't understand what confidence is, confidence means to believe in something. All right, you have I believe in this, so you gain confidence by that belief system. But when you believe in yourself, you're going to disappoint. Right? You're going to fail. That's why actually most things fail with New Year's resolutions, because it's so much about self.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great point.
And so the idea here is confidence in yourself. We use the word arrogance. It's called arrogance. And sometimes there's blatant arrogance, which turns us off. But listen, a lot of times I don't need to be blatant. I can just think that it's all about me being confident in myself and my abilities. And that is a level of arrogance. So, but if we go the other side of that, that's what the spiritual challenge is about. The idea that I have confidence in the one who created me, that he did create me for a reason, for a purpose, okay? And now that confidence, the word we use for that is called faith. Faith in our Creator, faith in something much bigger than us. And so, but I have to build that, that understanding. And so that's where I think that spiritual challenge that we want to tackle a little bit today is so important. If my resolutions fail year after year after year, I'm actually working out of short-sighted confidence that we call arrogance. Okay? Yeah, I'm going to buckle down and I'm going to start to lose that weight and all of this versus me sitting back a little bit and going, okay, what's God's purpose for me? And trusting that those abilities came through him. Now I have faith that I can lose the weight or get the promotion because of what he gave me, not what I can do.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a great point. For any of you guys out there that struggle with a relationship with Christ, if you tune into our show, if you stumbled upon our show on accident, first, like we love having people who want to come alongside and want to realize the importance of being a strong dad. But man, our show is biblically based, and what we talk about here, we hope are drawing from the Word of God. So like if this is something, if this idea of spirituality is difficult for you to grasp, if you're new in a relationship where you don't know who Jesus is, man, I would just a challenge that I would love to see in 2022. This is something that I did. I've talked about it a little bit. I did a 40-day fast. I got away from all social media. I got away from the news, and I just got back to who I am. And twice a day, my phone would ring off, and it just said, "Be still." And man, I think there's so much good that can come from this. So if you don't know who Jesus is, if you struggle, if you're in a place in your relationship with Christ where it's just like things just aren't going good, man, I think it is so important to realize just to take time to be still, man. I have so many blessings in my life that again, when you get caught in that having confidence in self, you lose sight of who Christ is, who God is. And I think there's so much good that can come from just stopping, turning off all the noise of this world and realizing, man, God is so much bigger than this, and realize that what you do have in your life is enough. That, a lot of times, in today's society, it's always grabbing more. What else can I achieve? What promotion can I get? I mean, I talked about it in 2022. That's something that I want. But man, if it doesn't happen for me, my life is not ruined. Right. Because I know that I've spent that time, I've invested in my relationship with Christ, that I know that he is so much bigger than any promotion that I'll ever go through.
Yeah. I mean, my brain is running crazy right now with the idea of how I have at times, frequently actually, doubted myself. I public speaking, okay, like I've had to work at being comfortable to publicly speak. And because it was always about me. It was always about me wondering, like, if I'm going to say the right thing, if I'm going to screw up, will they understand me? Am I going to drop the ball on this? And it was all me, that self-doubt. And one way that I moved through this was actually more through a spiritual way of saying, he made me for this. Like, he gave me the tools. He wants me to deliver this message. And so starting to flip the script that it wasn't me who was going to fail. It was him who sent me on this mission. And so now I'm working for him rather than for me. And just that whole spiritual flip of I was designed for this. And now that helps put me on purpose. Like, you have a purpose to serve in the firefighting world and to be able to go into those difficult situations. And you are just wired that way, right? That is not of you in the sense of you woke up one day and today I'm going to start to build myself to be a fireman. This is a spiritual weakness that we have, and it's because we don't always understand our connection to God. So part of what I see as the challenge in 2022 is starting to rest in the idea of who your maker is and what he designed you to do.
I love it.
Right? And we look at he made all of us to be designed in different ways. And so, man, like certain attributes that other guys have, I don't have them, and that's totally fine. Like, because that guy has them, and now he needs to have those on purpose to serve him. And that's where the confidence comes from. So I would just challenge all you guys out there, start thinking about how you were designed, how you're wired, where your brain gravitates, what your skills are, and now start to take that to the spiritual level of, okay, so what am I to do with this? to serve my Creator. Okay. And that's a spiritual challenge right there. Right. And that doesn't go away. Like, I still, when I publicly speak, I still don't just like, I'll do great at this. I still like, okay, wait, okay, God, this one's on. What do you need out of me here? Because Satan loves for me to practically freak out before I do that, because he'd love to see me fall apart.
Yep. This next little part about the spiritual challenge, man, if you guys are out there and you just don't know where to start and you have so many questions, man, ask those questions. Ask them. I have a small group that I meet with every Tuesday. I know I've talked about them. We actually had them on our show very, very early on. Man, find a group of guys who are trying to figure this whole thing that we call life out together, and do life together, man. My small group, They are my core guys. Like, those are my dudes, right? I do life with them every single day. Every Tuesday we meet, and we just start talking about stuff. We ask the hard questions. We ask the questions that I can't go into a church and ask, right? Some of the questions are hard questions, like, what do I do when this happens? How do I respond when this happens in my life? And we just talk about it, and we ask the hard questions. And it's not that we all have the right answers, but we're going to figure it out together. We're going to dive into God's Word. I've talked about this before, my small group. Man, every June, from June to August, we read the entire Bible cover to cover. And it is a daunting task, right? It is about an hour a day of reading. But I also think when it comes to a spiritual challenge, if you want a spiritual challenge, man, jump in that with us. We would love to have, our small group. We're getting bigger all the time. We're always adding new guys to our group. Man, if you want to read cover to cover the Bible, which maybe you've never done before. If you've never done it before, I'm telling you, it is life-changing. Yeah. The ability to say
it's humbling, isn't it?
Oh,
it's
my
so humbling.
goodness.
It's like, whoa.
The ability to read the book, right, from cover to cover is a huge, huge task that I hate reading. I'm not. I've talked about it many times. I'm not a reader. But to say that I've achieved that, to say that Christ has completely transformed the way I think, because I know from June to August, I have to set aside a lot of time in my day to ensure, but it's so worth it. It is so worth it. So, man, a great spiritual challenge is start asking those questions. Find a group of guys you can ask those questions together.
I've not done that challenge with you guys, so maybe this is my year to jump on board.
I
I've read the book cover to cover before, but I'll tell you, I have attempted it way more times than I've completed it, because I get lost in it.
And we have accountability, because on the Bible app, it puts a check mark next to your name after you finish the day. So so be like, hey, Merle, you haven't done 3 days worth, bro. That's 3 hours. You better get on it.
And all you guys trashing me. Yeah, this is going to really build me up. I love it. Let's move on to the next area.
I like it, and I'm going to let you run with this, Merle, because this is a physical challenge. So what can we do in 2022 to put ourselves, just similar to what you were talking about before? We talked about the idea of being strong, and that Jesus was a strong man. That was an attribute that really displayed his true manhood, right? So what is something in 2022 we can do to get stronger, to physically get a physical challenge?
Yeah, I think we lose sight, and I think you gain greater sight of this as you get older, because you start to see what happens. But your body, when we refer to it as the temple means that this is where the service of the Spirit comes through, right? Like, so you hear the phrase, we are the hands and feet. We always sit there and pray, like, Lord, help those people in Kentucky that just got hit by the tornado. Lord, help those people, help those people. Well, great with the prayer, but really our job is to use our temple and go down there and to help, whether it's with our hands and feet, whether it's with our finances, whether, it's in some way of actually then doing the work. So because we live in a physical world, we have to have a physical body to do a lot of this work. And so if you're not taking care of your body, and this is, I started the show with the idea of my knees. And man, this is something I really want to get right, because the idea of going out and putting a roof on someone's house, as much as I might want to do it, that would just be brutal for me, and probably not even safe. Because the temple is not stable, so to speak. So taking care of our body is way more important, and we take it for granted. And again, I think, Kyle, because you naturally have been strong and fit at a level that allows you to do a lot of things without having to work out. I mean, I think that's awesome, because you don't have to spend all this time being hyper focused. But you also then have to start to value, like, man, I've been blessed by him. And I do need to take care of this because it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed to us. And then when all of a sudden it's gone and you lose your ability to do things, to serve and to help, then you got to figure out, like, okay, what did I do? I wasn't a very good steward of what it was blessed with. So anyway, part of this challenge that I would just say, I'm not real big right now on the idea of, okay, this year, see how much you can bench press, or this year, see if you can run this many miles. Okay. Like, here's the deal. You do what works for you. Okay. But make it a priority this year to keep your motor running, keep the engine going, keep it healthy and strong. Because when it is not, you hear this, people say this all the time, when you lose your health, you lose everything, right? And so you can have all the money in the world, you can have all this stuff, but when all of a sudden you are not healthy, you feel sick. If COVID's taught us anything, it's taught us that we do not like and function well when we're sick. And so do the things this year to take care of your temple. All right. And if that means picking up running, then do it. If that means lifting some weights, then do it. If that means cutting back what you're throwing in your mouth, then do that. But I would ask you, take care of your physical body and be intentional about doing it. Okay. People always ask me in the training world, what's the best exercise that you would recommend? And the best exercise is whatever you're willing to do on a regular basis. All right. And if that's lifting, then lift. If that's walking, then walk, all right? But it's something that we put in on a regular basis that you can do, all right? And that's the bottom line. You got to take care of that temple.
I like it. That's all you, Merle. That's all you. No, as we continue with these different challenges, man, the one challenge that if there was ever, outside of your relationship with Christ and outside of your spiritual challenge, if there was the next challenge that is the next most important, I would venture to say it would be a marriage challenge. It would be a challenge to invest in your marriage, because there will be no other relationship outside of Christ that will bring more fruit in your life than your marriage. And this is something that, part of the idea of strong dads, man, it starts in your marriage. And if you want to be a good dad to your kids, you have to be a good husband to your wife. And there's so much behind that. Something that I've heard you and Linda speak on, Jenny and I, we do it every month. Man, if you have never, since you've been married, if you've never gone on a date with your wife, why? Like, start 2022 off right. Do a monthly, a weekly, whatever you can do, similar to what you're talking about with the idea of workout. What is the best workout to do? Whatever one you're going to do consistent. Man, the best date idea is the one that you're going to continue to do on a regular basis. Jenny and I, we do it once a month. And it's been so good for our marriage just to get away. Jenny says it all the time, like, when our girls are gone, when we're empty nesters, like, I still want to know who you are. Yeah. Because I know a lot of marriages are built around their kids, and I'm sure you can attest to this, Merle. Hearing relationships say the only reason we stay married is because of the kids. Yeah. And it is to that very idea that if the kids are the sole reason why you are staying married, it probably means you need to spend more time and invest in just your marriage, not your family, your marriage. And I think a great place to start when it comes to that for a marriage challenge is get into a monthly date, or get into a consistent date night for you and your wife.
I think that the monthly date, Linda and I actually probably do 2 or 3 of those a month. We like hanging out, and that's fun to do, and so we just do that. But yeah, I would say the importance of a regular, right, and on the calendar kind of thing. Kyle, I want to drill down just a little bit deeper, only because of the work that we do. I have a challenge in the marriage realm, and that is, especially as we get family, we get kids, we get busy, we lose track of each other, and we know a little bit more about what they're doing every day, our spouse, but we lose track of how they're doing every day. And the only way that we can actually keep a marriage strong is to be there to know how our partner is doing, not just what they're doing, but how they're doing. And so one of my practices that I do with just about every marriage that walks in my door, soon into our work when we're starting to get a little bit of headway, I implement a very fundamental challenge, and that is the 10-minute check-in. And so every day that check-in, they basically are just talking about, simple stuff of the day, like what you did today, whatever. That's not that important, okay? But you learn, the purpose of it is to sit back and learn how they're doing, watch how they're doing, reading them, so that after just 10 minutes, and it doesn't even take that, right? I mean, just the better you get at jumping in and reading your partner, you can, by looking at their eyes and their energy and just their tone, you can see how they're doing. And guys, this is critical because maybe 9 times out of 10, they're doing well, right? Like, oh, it's a good day, and this happened, that happened, okay. But that one day out of 10, maybe the wheels fell off, okay? And you were clueless, and you just walked right by her, okay? And now she just felt like she was on her own island, like she'll figure it out on her own, and that was the day that you could have said, hey, how you doing? And you read that she wasn't doing well. And then you could, this simple question is always a question that you ask after every 10-minute check-in. And both husband and wife, we want both of them practicing this, that they just say to each other, what can I do for you today? That's it. That's it. So I now know how my partner's doing, and then I am offering a service, okay, because we're called to serve each other. That is a practice that every day that you do, the chance of you two dropping the ball on losing each other and how they're doing becomes minimized, and you guys just build each other up. So that's a challenge that we do with all of our couples, and it's a challenge that you and your wife can start this year. It doesn't take long, guys, and if you give me an excuse, I'll call it BS because it's just not legit.
Yep. I like it. Yeah, I mean, it's something that I know I've shared on this idea of putting in your calendar, making it known. So if you want to know what I'm about, you can look at my calendar, my bank account, and I think the two go very true when it comes to your marriage. Like if you want to know if you prioritize your marriage, look at your calendar. If your calendar doesn't show that, then man, it's time to take a step back. Just like you were saying, start doing those daily check-ins. Start asking those questions on what can I do to help you. So make it a priority this year, because if you don't make things like that a priority, then the flip side of that is going to be your marriage is going to be hurting. It's going to be struggling. It's going to, we don't ever obviously advocate for divorce. So take the steps now. Get yourself in a better place. Get your marriage in a good place. That is not the alternative. So
most marriages erode away.
Yep. That's the slow fade. I know
that's the slow fade
Linda's
show that we did.
Yep.
Most marriages erode over time. If they don't break up in the first 5 years, then because those are usually like, oh wow, this is not working right. Yep. But after the 5-year period, most marriages don't just blow apart by one event; they erode. Yep.
So I like it. So as we move down into a strong dad challenge for you guys out there, man, I don't think there's anything similar to going on a consistent date with your spouse. I think there's so much good that can come from this. Is something that I want to start incorporating in my life is to go on dates with my girls. Mm-hmm. Man, Ava and Mia, they are going to one day grow up and seek that affirmation, that love from someone, and I want it to look like I want it to look, right? And so I need to show my girls what that looks like. So a challenge that I'll call you guys out there and going to call myself, and let's make this the year we start going on date nights, or call it whatever you want, with your kids, because there's so much good. If you're raising girls, I think there's so much good. If you're raising boys, man, we need to teach our boys to grow up to be men. Mm-hmm. We did a whole show on this, like the idea we need our boys to get out of boyish ways at an appropriate time, grow out of those boyish ways, and become men. Like let's grow and develop those attributes that we want.
Yeah. I think it's like I have one daughter, but I have 4 boys, and I've had to learn how to I'll say date them differently, right? Like we date our wives, but each of those kids has a different wiring to them. And because of my selfish nature, I was always like, well, we're going to do what I want to do. And it's like, okay, like I've had to really figure out how I can grab them with their interest. And I've not always done a great job with that. But I'm much more on purpose with it now. Like the other day, our oldest adopted son, and I only call him that because I got like two very. I've asked him like, "Are you okay if I refer to you as adopted son?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't care. Like I like being adopted." Okay, cool. Well, whatever. But I took him and his younger brother. And we just went and saw the new movie American Underdog with Kurt Warner, which is excellent movie. You know, all these guys are into football. Yeah. Right. And they're really into movies. They could watch movies nonstop. And it's like, hey, that was a home run. Yeah. That was a home run. And we went out got a little bite to eat and teased each other, joked around. And it was just, those are the things, guys. Those are the seeds that are planted that allow your kid to know that they can connect to you when the times are more difficult. Okay.
I like it. Yeah, this last challenge, this was a tough one for me to even come up with a challenge. This idea of a mental getting your mind right. This is something I would encourage you. I spoke a little bit about when it comes to the spiritual challenge. Man, when was the last time you turned everything off? When you turned off all the noise of this world and you just spent time by yourself in silence. I think I know for me, when I leave work after 24 hours, this is something I have to do. I spend probably my first 20 minutes of driving in complete silence. And this is just time for me to decompress a little bit, take time to get my thoughts together, because when I walk through the door, the first two people I see are my kids. And I don't want the baggage of everything that's going on in my professional life to trickle into my personal life, right? So I would say a mental challenge moving forward for 2022 is to spend time in silence this year. Let's do it. Let's. I mean, obviously, you can incorporate the spiritual aspect of that in prayer and in meditation. I think is so good. But man, let's spend some time on a regular basis in silence. Just you and your thoughts together, collecting your thoughts. You know, let's begin to reset. I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of crazy thoughts that go on in my head sometimes, right? And it's good to even if I'm by myself and in silence, to think those thoughts and to see which ones of those are actually true. Because if I look at my spiritual challenge of getting into the Word, then that's going to trickle into my mental challenge of realizing those thoughts are not truthful. Those are not the thoughts that I should be thinking. Those are the thoughts that Satan is putting into my mind to try and sway me away from my relationship with Christ.
Man, that is true. Like, all of this has to have a spiritual connection to it. We had Jeff Friday, remember Coach Jeff Friday on, and he wrote his book, Built for Winning. And a huge component of that book is the idea of all things are based off of the spiritual world. And if you whether it's the physical, whether it's your marriage, you know, whether it's being a dad, if you don't connect that to your purpose through God, and you do that through basically shutting down your mind, right, of all the other racing stuff and filling it with the purpose of God. Not even just silence, but purpose of filling it back to the connection to God. Yeah. Okay. And so that's a great thing to bring up, a great reconnection to the Spirit.
I like it. Yeah, we're really looking forward to 2022. I hope you guys are out there. I hope you're excited about the new challenge of this upcoming year. Spend some time talking to your wife. Have her come alongside with some of these challenges, man. These marriage challenges are going to be so fruitful. Again, outside your relationship with Christ, it will be the next most fruitful relationship that you have. So invest in it. Invest in your kids. Invest in getting your body. You know, it is a temple that God gave you. You only get one of them. Like, let's spend some time. Like, let's get that correct. Let's get the mental aspect and the spiritual aspect. Having, again, just like you were saying, have it all intertwined through that spiritual challenge. So I hope you guys take 1, 2, all of these, and let's achieve it. Let's be winners at this.
Awesome. So Hey, we're going to wrap things up. You guys enjoy your New Year's as you bring it in, and let's get ready to go do the work. Hang with us in 2022. We got a lot of neat things coming up, as I talked about at the top of the show. So hang with us. If there's anything that we can do to help you here through Strong Dads and Rock Solid Families, I mean, if you have a pressing need and you feel like sometimes the wheels are coming off the cart, you talked before, Kyle, about ask for help, and that is a sign of a strong man there who knows when he's going weak in an area. So give us a call, Rock Solid Families. That's 812-576-7625. You can go on our webpage at rocksolidfamilies.org. There's lots of different resources there, everything from different programs that we're putting on, some public speaking things that we're doing, classes we're offering. So check that out. If we can help, let us be part of that journey to help you out. All right. We also would like to thank Casey's Outdoor Solutions and Crimer's Beer House for continuing to support us and hopefully in through 2022. So we want to thank those guys. Kyle, you got anything else?
Nope. I love it. I hope you guys are having a good year, and look forward to putting some more shows out there. Go out there and be some strong dads. I need to get buff this year.
You're going to get buff for you or for Jenny? Casey's is a premier garden center and gift shop located in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Casey's offers a wide selection of plants, landscaping materials, home and garden decor, and gifts for every occasion. Casey's is committed to providing exceptional service, a unique shopping experience, and value to every customer. Stop in and see what makes Casey's so unique. Located at 21481 State Line Road, Lawrenceburg, Indiana, or call 812-537-3800. Let Casey's help you add beauty to your home.